Hello friends, in this video we will be discussing deadlock avoidance using Banker's algorithm. Before going to understanding of deadlock avoidance concept, we must know the resource allocation graph and table representation. These two representations mainly using for finding the system is in a safe state or not. This is what I explained with examples in previous videos. In this presentation, I am taking a table representation for finding the system is in a safe state or not. What is a Banker's algorithm? A Banker's algorithm is resource allocation. And deadlock avoidance algorithm examines the resource allocations so that there can never be a circular wait condition. This is what we discussed in deadlock necessary conditions. If the system is not satisfying circular wait, then there will not be deadlock. The Banker's algorithm finds out whether system is in a safe state or not. The Banker's algorithm in general used in banking systems to determine whether a loan can be granted or not. Let us take an example. If I submit application as per my requirement, that is worth 1000 rupees, then the banking system will verify in their banking how much available balance, and the basis of available balance, then they will be going to take the decision whether granting or not. Suppose my requirement is 1000 rupees, in the bank only 200 rupees is available, then they will not be granted. Suppose in the bank there will be 1200 rupees is available, my request is 1000, but they may sanction 1000 or less than or equal to 1000 as per their rules and regulations. Certain inputs are required for Banker's algorithm. What are the certain inputs? Let us see here. Maximum need of resources by each process. So how many maximum resources required by each process? And how many resources allocated for each process? And maximum free available resources in the system. Let us see here is, take a little example of the banking system. As a customer, I am submitting application with maximum need. What is that maximum need? Is 1000 rupees, for example. And banker might be allocated 500 rupees. In the bank, actually 1200 is available. Once they allocated 500 for me, then how much maximum free available? 700 rupees. So this is the method easy to remember. In this algorithm, we are using 4 data structures. One is available, second one is a maximum, third one is allocation, fourth one is a need. How to remember these 4? Let us take a real world example. That is, suppose I have a 1000 rupees with me, 1000 rupees available. My friend requested as a loan 700 rupees. Then I may be giving as per my friend request, but availability is 1000 rupees. My friend request is 700 rupees. I may allocate 700 or less than or equal to 700. Suppose if I have allocated 500 rupees, then how much still he needs? 200 rupees. As per his request is 700 is required. With me 1000 rupees available. So once I allocated 500 rupees, then with me how much amount is available? 500 only. And then still he needs 200 rupees. That I'll be allocate later on. This is the way easy to remember available, maximum, allocation, need. Available means maximum number of resources available in the system, and maximum is the process requesting maximum number of resources as per their requirement, and the system will allocate as per available resources, and it should not cross the maximum limit of process request. And after allocation, then still the process may require certain resources, those resources on the basis of maximum and allocation. So need is equal to maximum minus allocation. So this is what maximum requested and system allocated this is, and still the process required maximum minus allocation number of resources. Generally, Banker's algorithm is for finding the safe state and resource request algorithm. In this session, we'll be focusing only safety algorithm. In the next video, we will discuss resource request algorithm. What is meant by safety algorithm? It finds out whether system is in safe state or not. So now we are finding whether the system is safe state or not with the available information. Let us take an example. Banker's algorithm example. Let us assume 5 processes and 3 resource types, means A, B, C. 3 resource types means, let us assume A is nothing but number of printers, B is number of registers, C is number of either CPUs or any other device. And how many processors? 5 processors. So as per the table representation, let us see here how many processors are available? 5. So P0, P1, P2, P3, P4. And how many resources are available? 3 different resource types. So once the process requested the maximum, and as per the maximum requirement, the system may allocate certain resources as per availability of the information in the system. So let us see here A, B, C means 3 different resource types. A, B, C. A has multiple instances. B also has multiple instances. C also multiple instances. Means 7 similar type of resources. B 5 similar type of resources. Like P0 requesting maximum is 7 A type. P0 requesting maximum 5 B type. P0 requesting maximum 3 C type. But system is allocated 0, 1, 0. So that means A type 0, B type 1, C type 0. Like this, the system is allocated. And what are the maximum number of resource types? A instances, B instances, C instances, 10, 5, 7. So let us see here, the system is allocated for every process. Now how to calculate how many free available resources in my system now? How to calculate that free available? Let us do the summation of A type. Let us do the summation of B type. Let us do the summation of C type. This summation means this available resources minus this summation. That is what at present freely available resources. This is what. And finally, what we need to do, we want to find whether the system is safe or not. So look at this table. So this is what the already provided input. What are the inputs are required for the Banker's algorithm? One is the number of resources allocated, number of maximum resources requested by the process, and a number of resource types are available in the banking system. Now let us see. I want to calculate in the system how many resources are available freely. So this is only by the help of the allocation. You see, resource type A summation is 7. Resource type B summation is 2. Resource type C is a summation 5. You see, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5. So this is what summation of respective resource type. A type 7, B type 2, C type 5. And how many actual resources are available in the system? A type 10, B type 5, C type 7. So A type is 10. 10 minus 7. So 3. freely available. B type 5. 5 minus 2. So means 3 is available. Next C type 7 minus 5. So 2. So total how many resources available freely at present? 3, 3, 2. Okay. Now I want to find the need. The process requested maximum number of resources and the system allocated. These are the resources. Now I want to find the need. So need is still how many resources are required. That means maximum minus allocation. Maximum minus allocation. Need equal to maximum minus allocation. You see P0. Maximum requested 7, 5, 3. Allocated 0, 1, 0. So subtract. This is the value, subtract from this values. 7 minus 0, so still 7 required. 5 minus 1, 4. 3 minus 0, 3. So let us see P1. P1 maximum requirement is 3, 2, 2. Allocated 2, 0, 0. So A type resource. 3 minus 2, 1. So 1 still required. 2 B type resource. 2 minus 0. Means 2 is required still. C type 2 minus 0. Maximum and minus allocation. 2 minus 0. So 2. So like this calculate the need for all the processes. So this is what calculation of the need, and this is what the finding the freely available resources. Now we got a clarity how many freely resources available, how many resources still required for every process. Look here, freely available 332 and P0 still need resources 743. So now I want to verify whether it is fulfilling the requirement or not, what the resources really available with the system. 7 less than or equal to 3, A type resource, condition false. Then moving to the next process. Next process requirement 1, 2, 2. So A type is 1. Less than or equal to freely available 3, condition true. Next B type requirement is 2. 2 less than or equal to 3. Then C type 2 less than or equal to 2, condition true. So freely available resources allocating to P1. At presently, how many resources are available? 3, 3, 2. Once I allocate the resources to the P1, at presently using available resources can satisfy the requirement of P1 and P1 release its present and previous resources. Presently, I am allocating resources and previously allocated resources also must be released. Let us look into this. Available 332 and previously allocated 200. Look in the allocation. P1 200. So presently allocated certain resources from the available plus P1 200. So summation of available plus P1 previously allocated. So 3 plus 2 5. 3 plus 0 3. 2 plus 0 2. So now available resources 5 3 2. 5 3 2. So now what are the pending resources? Now available resources 5 3 2. Now what are the pending processes? P0, P2, P3, P4. Now with available resources, I want to check which are feasible processes. 5 3 2. Next go for the P2. P1 is already completed. So we are moving to the P2. P2 requirement is 600. Available is 532. Condition false. Why the condition is false? Resource type A 5 available and need 6. So condition false. Next, going to the next process. P3. P3 requirement is 0, 1, 1. Available resources 5, 3, 2. So requirement is 0, 1, 1. Once I allocate the resources, and the P3 must release the previously allocated resources. You see now P3 allocating. As presently using new available resources can satisfy the requirement of P3, and P3 release its present and previous resources. So as of now presently available 532 and P3 previously allocated, look here 2, 1, 1. So presently available plus P3 allocated, previously allocated. 5 plus 2, 7, 3 plus 1, 4, 2 plus 1, 3. So this is new available. Now 743 really available. So what are the processes completed? P1, P3. Now what are the pending processes? P0, P2, P4. So now I want to test. Now freely available is, let us look here, 743. 743. Let us see here, if I go for the P0, available is 743. Need is 743. Condition true. So when the condition is true, now the resources I am allocating to P0. Once P0 task is completed, previously allocated resources must be released. Once release the resources, those resources I must add to the newly available resources. So presently available 743 and P0 previously allocated 0, 1, 0. Look here 0, 1, 0. So presently available plus allocated resources. That means 7 plus 0, 7, 4 plus 1 plus 4 plus 1 equal to 5, 3 plus 0 equal to 3. Presently available 753. And how many processes I completed? P1, P3, P0. Now what are the pending processes? You see P1, P3, P0 completed. So P0, P1, P3 completed. Now P2, P4 are pending processes. Pending processes means presently available is 753. Available 753. 753 means now I can check with the pending processes requirement. So let us see here. P2 requirement is 600. So available you see 753. So condition is true. You see 6 less than 7, A type resource. 0 less than 5, 0 less than 3. Condition is true. Once condition is true, then the resources I can allocate to the P2. As presently using new available resources can satisfy the requirement of P2 and P2 release its present and previous resources. So what are the previously allocated resources? P2, look here 3, P2 3, 0, 2. See that 3, 0, 2. Now summation of this 7 plus 3, 10, 5 plus 0, 5, 3 plus 2, 5. Presently freely available resources 10, 5, 5. Now what are the pending processes? Only P4. P4 requirement is 4, 3, 1. Available resources 10, 5, 5. So as presently using new available resources can satisfy the requirement of P4. P4 requirement is 4, 3, 1. So satisfying the requirement, and P4 release its present and previous resources. Present means whatever the need, those resources, and previously allocated resources. Previously allocated resources 0, 0, 2. Let us see 0, 0, 2. So previously allocated resources. So 10 plus 0, 10, and 5 plus 0, 5, 5 plus 2, 7. So now Available resources 10, 5, 7. Let us check here all the processes completed. So no pending processes. Now total freely available resources 10, 5, 7. So you cross verify with system original available resource types. You see A type is 10. Let us see originally 10. And B type is originally 5. So here also 5. C type originally 7. Here also 7. So once I get the equal figure, then what I did process approximately correct. Now system is in a safe state. What is the possible safe state sequences? Look here. First allocated to the P1, next P3, next P0, next P2, next P4. This is the possible safe state sequence. What is the possible safe state sequence? P1, P3, P0, P2, P4. Safe state sequences P1, P3, P0, P2, P4. There is a possibility of another sequence also. We can find more than one possible safe state sequence. Here I have explained only for one possible sequence. Similarly, you find for other possible sequences. In the next video, we will discuss deadlock detection and recovery. Thank you, one and all.